WorldCoin's price has now officially broken $2, still absolutely sending up over 100% just in the last month. This has been one of the craziest moves from a top 50 crypto that I have ever seen before, and it is now ranked at number 33 with a $4.2 billion market cap. This is absolute madness. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about why this pump is happening and really more just update you on what is going from a technical side, because truth be told, I believe that if Worldcoin can continue this momentum, $2 could just be a pit stop. I think $2 could just be scratching the surface. I think within reason, Worldcoin could start looking to push all the way up to $5. So we have a lot to cover today about Worldcoin. But before we do, guys, don't forget that if you want somewhere where you can trade it, go long, go short, and all that good stuff, you can sign up to BTCC down below. And if you sign up, deposit, and start trading today, you're going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses and rewards and lower trading fees. And you can use all of that to help you trade more Worldcoin. So check out that link down below and let me know what you think. But as I mentioned before, I mean, this thing is just going absolutely nuts. Just look at the last day. The only thing out climbing Worldcoin is MYX on the daily, even on the weekly. Shoot, even on the monthly, this bad boy is up nearly 100%. And this has been absolute madness. Now, this pump from Worldcoin is really stemming from two core elements, okay? Element number one really comes down to the Strategic Treasury Reserve, which of course was announced by 8Co Holdings. Now, 8Co Holdings is a NASDAQ company, meaning they're a very large company, more tech related, okay? And with that in mind, they went out and announced that there was going to be a $270 million Worldcoin treasury strategy, which boosted institutional confidence. Now, this sparked a lot of interest, not only just from retail, but from institutions, because it's a very similar approach to that of like MicroStrategy with Bitcoin, right? And so many Worldcoin holders were like, oh snap, like if they're going to do that, what if other institutions do it? And what if they keep climbing and buying more and making more money and growing and catching popularity, just like MicroStrategy? Maybe Worldcoin is the next one up. Now, in addition to that, they've also had some fantastic on-chain upgrades and announcements as well. What we can see is that on-chain data shows that strong accumulation has occurred as long-term holders stack up. Adoption is surging too. There's now over 3.5 million verified users, 450,000 plus new world app accounts, and 15.7 million transactions just in a single week. So it's not like this is all just hype and excitement. No, people are actually growing. They are using this. They are using the ecosystem and they're getting involved. And when you mix these two core components together, it allows for something like this, where Worldcoin just absolutely takes off, pumping all the way back up to $2. Now, when we look at this from a technical perspective, yes, this has been a fantastic move, but trust me when I tell you, things could just get crazier going forward from here. Now, the reason why I say that is because Worldcoin has just broken out. All this big move that it just made, all this big excitement that has just garnered, that was it just breaking out. As you can see here, Worldcoin had been stuck in a descending channel for the last couple months. And you guys know what I tell you. Descending channels are some of the most reliable structures in the world of crypto. And one of the best things that you can do is accumulate at the bottom of these descending channels and just wait, because oftentimes you're going to see a bounce off the bottom, work yourself back up to the top, and eventually break out. And when that breakout happens, you're usually going to break even or make profit off of these purchases you did very quickly. So for those of you who were dollar cost averaging Worldcoin at the bottom of this channel, well, guess what? Now you're either back break even if you bought a lot up here, or you're in a profit if you accumulated more down here. So massive congratulations to you. This is an absolutely smashing move from Worldcoin. But as I mentioned before, I think this could just be the very beginning of it. Because if you actually look at the structural analysis of Worldcoin, the truth is that this is just the beginning of what could be a bigger move towards the upside. Historically speaking, when a cryptocurrency, especially in the top 100 in terms of market cap, breaks out of a descending structure, what you are usually capable of doing is assuming that this is the beginning of a new, more macro trend towards the upside. And what that would mean is that Worldcoin easily could be in the beginning of a bigger move upwards in the grand scheme of things. Does that mean it's going to go straight up? No, of course not. But it could easily be in the beginning of a move that looks like this, right? Or something like this, right? And the reason why I say that is because of the way that the structure works. We were in a downtrend, and now we have officially reversed the downtrend. We've created a higher low. We have now created a higher high. And that means that the trend is changing. It's not just a breakout of the structure. The overall trend is changing. And historically speaking, a top 100 crypto will try to make some sort of continued move upwards over the mid to long term. So where does that mean that Worldcoin could go? Well, I honestly think that Worldcoin easily could start to work itself back up to try to revisit this previous high, right here at $4. I think that is a very reasonable assumption. Historically speaking, this is actually your zone where you are going to go up to. This is your break up zone. Whenever a crypto breaks through a descending structure and clears the resistance, what you need to do is look for the last time it touched that structure, which would be right back here. That's your breakout target. That's where that crypto is going to want to go. It's like a magnet that's going to try to pull the price up. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get that high. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed it's going to go that high. But what I am saying is that it's like a magnet, and it's going to be trying to pull that price up to that level. And it's just what historical data has shown. Now, don't get me wrong. Say the Fed comes out on Wednesday or Tuesday of next week, and they say, hey, we're not cutting interest rates, and we're not cutting interest rates for 9 months. Well, guess what? The crypto market's going to dump, and so is Worldcoin. But at the end of the day, without something big and major like that happening, I think Worldcoin has an easy shot at being able to break $3 or $4 or possibly even higher. Now, the reason why I say possibly even higher is because if we actually go ahead and remove the descending structure, you can actually see the way in which it has formed this bottoming out structure. Do you see this right here? This is called a cup and handle pattern. Some people call it an Adam and Eve pattern. Some people call it a cup and handle pattern. I don't really care what you call it, but at the end of the day, this is a reversal structure. And what's cool about reversal structures is that if you take the distance from the top of this structure all the way down to the bottom of either the cup or Adam's head, whichever one you want to call it, and apply it to the top side of this structure, it actually gives you your breakout target. And in this instance, we can also see that Worldcoin has a breakout target, which is right around $4.50 right now. So not only does it have the breakout target from the descending structure, it also has a breakout target to $4.50 from this bottoming out structure, the cup and handle pattern or the Adam and Eve pattern. And that also just further incentivizes me to believe that this could just be the beginning for Worldcoin. Now, what does it look like to get up here? Again, I don't know, guys, right? We are very high right now. If you look at something like the RSI, for example, I mean, we got to pay attention to this, right? You look at the RSI, for example, this thing is higher than it's been since Worldcoin put in its all-time high in February of 2024. When you look at something like the Bollinger Bands, we are fully extended outside of the Bollinger Bands. When you look at your Elliott's waves, we are towards the top side of what could be a three-wave right now. When you combine all of these things together, a pullback does make sense for Worldcoin at any given moment, okay? So I'm not saying that, Worldcoin's just going to fly straight up to 450. It easily could pull back. It could cool down. It could need to reset before making that move. But over the mid to long term, I think it's very reasonable to assume that Worldcoin could make this move up there. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. There's no guarantees in crypto, and that's not what most people want. But people want to know that there's an opportunity. And I genuinely believe that even if Worldcoin does start to pull back and start maybe even losing some support, maybe for a while it just goes back down all the way towards $1.50 or $1.25. I still do believe that from a structural perspective, Worldcoin is in perfect position to make itself back up towards $4. And the beautiful part about it is that even if I was just looking at the charts, I would say, oh, Worldcoin has an opportunity to make a good move to the upside here, right? Worldcoin structurally has an easy access back up towards $4. And that's without factoring in what's happening from a more institutional perspective. That's without factoring in what's happening on chain. These things just make it even more likely that Worldcoin makes that move. And so where am I right now? I think Worldcoin's going to eventually try to make a move back up towards $4 as long as nothing terrible happens in the U.S. economy, as long as nothing crazy happens with the Fed. I think Worldcoin over time is going to try to make that move. And I still do think that there is some opportunity on the table for it. So this has been a fantastic move for Worldcoin. And I just wanted to let people know, like, hey, I know it feels great. Don't get me wrong. But there could still be some more opportunity on the way. And does that mean that you shouldn't take any profit off the table? Of course not. Listen, if you were doing some purchasing on Worldcoin around 60 cents, around 90 cents, maybe even higher around $1, and you're up 100 to 180%, yeah, you absolutely should take a little bit of profit off the table because truth be told, everyone else is going to anyway at some point, and there will be cooldowns and pullbacks. But I personally would be leaving a little bit of that bag open or some of that bag open because I still think that Worldcoin easily could continue up to some of these higher levels over the mid to long term. So I'll keep you updated as all this plays out. And I am going to be giving you a ton of updates about Worldcoin over on my Instagram, which is linked down below, TylerHillYT_. As you can see, I gave an update on Worldcoin just yesterday, and I am going to continue to talk about it, especially over the next coming days and weeks as this move plays out. So make sure to head down to the link down below. When you go to my Instagram, you're not going to see the analysis. You're just going to have to click this Reels tab right here, and that's where everything is for you. So feel free to go check that out. Don't forget, if you want to trade some Worldcoin, you can do it over on BTCC and get up to $10,000 in bonuses. And again, I'll keep you updated as all this plays out because this has been a crazy move from Worldcoin, and it could just be getting started.